I missed your name, I apologize. I just want to greet you into my Zoom temple here and just want you to feel right at home. So thank you for showing up this morning. Those of you just beaming in here, happy Valentine's Day. And what a great way to spend it, right? It's a cold winter, what is this, Sunday morning. I had to think what day it is. They all run together, don't they? Sunday morning. So a beautiful day to spend a little time with your soul. So thank you for being here. So I'm going to ask you to start with a moment of silence and just close your eyes if you would. I'm going to bring the healing bowl, singing bowl in here. And let's just take a little pre-game where we close our eyes and begin to make that transition from whatever you were doing before you turned your Zoom on to now. Let the eyes close. And maybe turn full attention to your breath for a moment. Just receive a nice, sweet, deep breath in and a slow, steady breath out. Putting yourself in park, in this place of stillness for a moment. And with eyes closed, absorb these words from beautiful Maya Angelou. This is what she has to say about love. Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles. It leaps fences. It penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. And just allow your eyes to open. And do make sure that you're sitting comfortably. You don't have to be sitting cross-legged yet, just as I give an intro here, and then you can go into that seat when the time comes. So thank you for being here today. And thank you if you found it in your heart to donate to our cause today, which I'll be giving the proceeds to this class to Critter Crusaders, a local organization that helps homeless animals, helps with their medical needs. So I really appreciate that. And thank you for your time. So I wanted to share with you a guiding mantra, a mantra that I have used in my life to make decisions, especially difficult decisions. I found that it's very helpful. And the mantra is simple. You maybe are familiar with it yourself, have used it yourself, and it is this: what would love do? What would love do? So many times when I can't make up my mind or it's a difficult situation, I just sit myself down and I just say, what would love do? What would love do? And give myself some quiet time to really listen to the nudgings of love. So this is our focus today as we practice. We all know that love would do many things, right? Love would do many things. But today I want us to focus on one specific act of love. And that is the simple fact that love encourages us to just show up, to show up for the joyful, celebratory times and situations in our life, and to show up for the challenging and heart-wrenching times as well. Love, I think, propels us from the inside out to show up again and again and again. It's this like a giant magnetic force, I believe, that pulls us to those that we care about. And it might pull us as well to people that we don't even know, and we want to extend love to them. So the force is quite strong, as Maya Angelou says. It helps us jump hurdles, it helps us leap fences and penetrate walls. That's a strong force. And it propels us to show up for our children, for our marriages, our relationships and challenges there, for our friendships, and for our aging parents. We all are going to have challenges and have had challenges in our life. So I can say that the last 10 years of my life have been really challenging, with my parents both falling into ill health. And I know many of you can relate to this at this time. They've both transitioned now, but I reflect back on the days when I would get in my car and drive 2 hours to go see them and to show up and to care for them. And it wasn't always easy. And I was drawn to be there out of love, not out of obligation, but out of love. And many times I have to say, honestly, that I would sit in my home on a morning that I was contemplating going to visit, and I would really have a struggle. Do I go visit today? I don't know. I have so much to do in my own life. And therein, I would have to ask myself the question, what would love do? Would love go show up for them, which might be where I need to be? Or does love need to show up for me today? And that's a struggle that I think we all can fall into when it comes to caring for others and also not forgetting to care for ourselves. So, how are we doing in that department? How are we doing with showing up for ourselves? And that might be what we do today. We completely, hopefully, take care of ourselves today. There is an ebb and flow between extending our love out and also not forgetting ourselves. And some days we just need to get still and ask, when was the last time I showed up for me? I got a massage or took a yoga class or went for a walk in nature. This is vital to our health. And so today, my friends, let's show up for ourselves fully, completely, and replenish our souls and our bodies with this beautiful practice. So, closing your eyes to move into breath, please lengthen your spine and allow for a clear channel for the breath to move freely and fully. And I want you to think of every breath today, every single breath, as a love letter that you send to your nervous system, as a love letter that you send to your mind and heart and body. So begin to drink in the breath, feel it come in through your nostrils. And then opening the mouth, excuse me, and then just slowly release it out through your mouth. A couple more breaths in that way. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Just a few more slow, very mindful breaths. We're showing up for ourselves. When it comes to love, words can be so inadequate. So many times it's our actions that really matter. Breathing in. This time, as you breathe in, be aware of the breath coming in through your nose and moving down into your chest. The place of the chest here, the Chinese would call the sea of tranquility. And just picture that breath moving down from the chest into your rib cage, filling up your lungs. Trace that pattern, breathing in through the nose, moving down through the chest and into the lungs. And just releasing out the exact same way, out from the lungs, up the chest and out the mouth. Allowing yourself time to get quiet, to fully arrive. So many people count on you. Today is your day. This is your time. And now please join your hands together in front of your wise heart. Let the chin bow down towards the chest. as an acknowledgement, thanking yourself for showing up, for being present, extending loving kindness to yourself today. And as always, I love to invite grace into the space wherever you're practicing. May we invite grace to support us and uplift us in this practice. Now release your hands. Please lift your head. Let your eyes blink open. So let's begin. We're going to start in a seated position. Wherever you are, you can sit on your bum on your mat there and place your feet on the ground. Just double checking that I'm connected here. And welcome to anyone who came on a little bit late. I'm so glad that you're here. So starting on your seat, now please, this is a mixed level class, so use your discretion. If you need to adjust, I'll give you other options. So I'll give you options to take it up a little and options to take it down a little. So it's important. Us girls need choices. And sorry if I missed any guys that are on here. You need choices also. Place your feet on the ground. Find your sitting bones, those little bony protrusions in your pelvis there, and then hold on to your shins. When we inhale, we're going to fill ourselves up and lengthen up through the spine. And when we exhale, we just freely release through the mouth and round your back. When you're ready, inhale, sit tall. Follow the pattern of your breath. We all breathe at different lengths. Exhale, roll back into cat pose. Continue, inhale, lifting, awakening the spine, bringing circulation, blood flow to that very important grand central station of the body. Again, inhale, rise and lift up. As you're ready, really arch the low back if you can. And then exhale, round. Sitting up nice and tall. Cross one leg under the other. And if you need to put a little blanket under your behind, do that. Just cross one leg over the other. And then take your left hand across and hold your right knee. Hold your right knee. Please float your right arm straight up and then just slowly start to tilt or lean over to your left. Really stretching up intentionally through your top arm. And then turn and look down. Look down towards your left shoulder. Leaning, feel some opening perhaps happening in the right side of the body. Let's come up in reverse. Take your right arm across, hold your left knee, extend the left arm high, and then just slowly start to lean to your right. Turn your head and look downward. Remember to keep your breath in the forefront of what you're doing. Hearing the breath allows us to show up, to be here more, be more present, and then come up. What would love do? Love would invite us to be present, to show up with whatever's in front of us. Bring your feet out in front of you again. Come onto your heels. Place your right hand on your thigh, bring your left arm up and over and see about holding the little toe side of your foot here. This is a great stretch for the upper back. So round your back, draw your chin deeply down. Like a turtle, you're retracting everything into your shell here, going inside. And then with your right foot, pretend like you're stepping on the accelerator in your car. Press it forward. Feel how it invites your left arm to lengthen. Maybe you feel a little opening in your upper left side of your back there under your shoulder blade. Deep breath in, slow breath out. And then lifting on up, let's do the second side. Take your right arm over, hold the little toe side. The left hand is placed on the left thigh, pressing. And then just round your back. Take your ribs and draw them back. Draw your chin down. A little pressure forward with your your left foot. Really drop into the fluid breath. Awesome. And then lift yourself on up. From here, bring your hands behind you. Turn your fingertips out. Plant your feet flat on the ground. And then let's lift up through the heart, through the chest. It's really tall. Your shoulders roll back. Anchoring through your feet. Now explore what feels right. Maybe you just lift your hips and you swing them side to side like they're in a little hammock. Maybe you choose to lift your pelvis into a reverse tabletop, which is a little more intense stretch through the shoulders, down through the arms. So that's where you get to choose. And then keeping your shoulders back wherever you are, start to lower your pelvis down and coming all the way up. Extend your right leg long, left leg stays bent. Reach and grab your front leg, please, with your right hand, left hand behind you. Lengthen up and slowly twist to your left. So the movement is one part of this equation in practice, right? So movement is like loving your body up. The breath is another really, really important part. So let's encourage the breath to have center stage here. Inhale, lengthening, exhale, twisting. And then we'll come back to center, everyone, and switch sides. Left leg out, right leg comes in, give it a nice hug and lengthen up through your spine, and then slowly, with your breath leading the way, and in every posture, especially as we intensify the poses, you can ask yourself, what would love do here? Would love push to the point of pain? Or would love say, my dear, I think you need to back off a little bit, or do another variation? All right, come back to center. Bring your legs in and let's transition now. Let's come on to our hands and knees. Open your knees wide, bring your big toes together, and then walk your hands a little out in front of your shoulders, and please rise onto the tips of your fingers if that's doable. Start to shift your hips way, way, way back. And at the same time, maybe there's room to inch your fingers forward a bit. Keep lifting the armpits really high. And on your breath, your out breath, let your chest get heavy towards the floor, but not the arm bones. The arm bones imagine you have helium balloons attached to your shoulders and they're lifting upward, but your heart is releasing down. One more breath here. And then place your palms flat on the ground as you lift your gaze. Turn your toes under, lift the hips up and back to the first downward facing dog. Now in this down dog, we're going to coordinate breath with movement, subtle movement. And here's where we're going. So I want you to lift your heels really high. Come onto the balls of your feet. Receive an inhale there. Exhale, let the heels reach down with pressing gently down. So think of more of the arch of your foot pressing down. Inhale, raise the heels. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, raise the heels. Exhale, lower. Lower the knees on down to the mat. Slowly walk your hands back. So the intention today is a slow flow. Inhale, reach the arms on up. Exhale, pull your arms into cactus pose, lifting the heart. Inhale, reach up. Come down to all fours position, and then stretch on up into cow, looking up, arch the back. On an exhale, round and push the mat away. And once again, reach up to the ceiling. Inhale, rise. Exhale, pull the elbows down, lift the heart. Inhale, down to all four and right on through to cow. Look up. Exhale, round into cat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, pull the elbows down. Inhale, down and through. Exhale, round. Please come to a flat back position and bring your right foot forward between your hands. Coming upright here, shoulders over hips. Just park the right hand on your front thigh and lift your left arm up. Lifting high, reaching high, and then start to lean to your right a little. Just lean over to the right. Meanwhile, on your left knee, the one that's on the ground, press it down with a little more intention. Press down and try to drag that back knee slightly forward. Doesn't really move much. It's the attempt that we're after. You're reaching up and over. You're going to see this side bend a lot today. Come up and touch down to the ground. Bring your right foot back. Just simply exchange it for your left. Still in our warm-up phase here. Come upright. And then hips go back just slightly. Right arm lifts. Keep the ribs drawing back too. Very helpful to keep that core integration. And lean over to your left. I don't know if any of you watch Schitt's Creek. I kind of sounded like Moira there for a second. Integration. You know how she enunciates everything? Okay, well, maybe not so much there, but I heard Moira in myself a moment ago. She makes me smile. Reach up and over, drag your back right knee forward. It's an isometric action to just bring a little extra love to your hip flexor here. And then come back down, everyone, touch the ground. Please lift your back leg. And then let's all go back to downward facing dog again. Look at your hands. Always check in on your foundation. Fingers spread wide, shoulder width apart, or your hands. And now this time, bend your right knee and hold that. Push your left hip back and up, back and up. And then let's switch. Bend your left leg, push your right hip back and up towards the sky more. Awesome. And now bend both legs. Lift your gaze ever so slightly, look towards your thumbs. And then bending your knees, stick your bottom up, make a lumbar curve. And now in the middle, I don't know, I can feel my belly just having a vacation here. Let's draw some strength there. So draw your ribs up into your body, feel more of an activation and awakening. And now press forward into a plank pose. You have that nice core stability supporting you. Holding in plank, you're always welcome to lower your knees, everyone, anytime you need to. And then let's lower down slowly to our stomachs. Inhale, lift up to cobra, shoulders roll back. Exhale as you're ready, lower down. Toes tuck under, up we go back to downward facing dog. This time, lift your right leg up with an inhale, up towards the ceiling. Lower and tap your big toe on an exhale. Repeat, same leg, inhale up. Exhale, lower. Lifting and holding this time. Bend the right leg. Neither stay here or start to open the knee and peek under the right arm. Yeah, a little wild dog. Coming back center, extend the right leg long, let it float to the ground. Lower the knees. We will get to the second side here. But in the meantime, take your left arm up to the ceiling and then slowly through for thread the needle. So you'll come on down to your left shoulder, left side of your head, and just pause here. marinating in your breath. That love letter that we continue to read and send to all of you, every part of you. Lifting back up. Place the hands a little bit in front of your shoulders, lifting up to downward facing dog. And let's do the left leg 3 times with the friend of the breath. So inhale, lift it up. Exhale, control it as it comes down. 2 more. Lift it and hold it. Bend it. And then if you choose to open up into wild dog, otherwise any other variation or even a child's pose is groovy. Coming back center, lengthen the leg and lower your knees. Right arm floats up and now bring it all the way down and come on down to the right side of your head, right side of right shoulder. And once again, giving ourselves permission to just rest with the breath, to just show up. Love shows up here, represented in our breath awareness. Slowly come up now. Lifting your hips up once again, downward facing dog. And then let's walk our hands back to the feet. So mosey on back to your toesies and then bend your knees a little tiny bit, everyone. Let your pelvis, your seat, drift back a little bit further behind your heels. And then let's imagine that you have high heels on. We've all probably done this. Sorry, unless there's some gentlemen that have showed up. Just pretend then, guys. And that it's just rained outside and you went running across the grass for whatever reason. Probably love propelled you in some way. Press your heels down as if your high heels were going down through the dirt, down through the earth and grounding. And then the balls of your feet press down just as much. So you're anchored. You're like stuck in the mud. Keep that pressing down. I know you can do this. In the name of love, keep pressing down. Bring the hands to your hips. Keep pushing down into the earth as you rise. Keep your legs so in the game as you come up. Superb. All right, coming forward. So we're going to do some rhythmic warming up here. I just need to adjust this a teeny weeny bit so I have a full head. All right, so coming to Tadasana. And then bring the hands to the heart center. So feet are hip width apart. And just take a moment here to feel yourself in this majestic posture of Tadasana or mountain pose, where there actually is a lot that's happening and then there's nothing that's happening. So just pause and feel. Maybe feel how your breath is quickened or how it's slowed down. Pausing our little pockets of love that we can give to ourselves each day, multiple times. So arms, we're going to take the left hand and park it on our hip. The right arm comes off to the side here, like I do solemnly swear to take good care of myself, to love myself. We're really going to make a movement here. So we're going to inhale up and over. Exhale, pull the elbow all the way down and engage your back muscles here. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, pull down. Up and over, more rhythmically now. Open, exhale through the mouth. Last time. Let's do the other side now. Switch. You know this now. Here we go. Inhale. Last time. Both arms. Bend your knees on the exhale. Keep going, getting some good breath pumping through you, increasing vitality, energy. Last time. Stretch and hold, reach high. Now cross over, hold your elbows, draw your arms back a little bit, press up through your elbows, feel your rib cage lift up. And then I'm going to turn sideways here. In the midst of all of this, gently tether your ribs back. So you're pulling up with your elbows, even trying to pull your elbows apart a little. Guide the ribs back so you get some good core connection. Awesome. And then release your arms slowly and let them shake out. All right, a little bit more on the lower side here. Hands on the hips. This is going to require a little balance. Don't overthink it. You're going to do hip circle on the right. So you're going to bring it up, around, and you can touch the ground or you can keep it rhythmic. Okay, so you might touch your big toe down each time. Some days I need to do that more. Other days I don't. It's always different. Circle it around. Now the next time you circle, step behind your left leg. Step behind. Right arm comes up, lean over to your left. Yeah, so deep, deep opening here through the inside. So take your ribs back a little bit. There's a deep psoas hip flexor muscle in there. It stores a lot of emotion, that psoas muscle does. So stretch up and over. Go ahead and bring it on back. Step right foot grounded. It's going to be your stabilizing leg now. Here we go. Left leg up and around. Are loving ourselves, especially through this practice, is loving our joints, getting healthy joints, loving our muscles, loving our bones, just taking really good care of ourselves. Self-care practice for sure. Reach behind you. Left arm comes up, lean over, and then you could even pull up a little bit with your other wrist if you want, with your other hand on the wrist. Just lean and breathe. And then please rise and come up. All right, so now legs are going to come apart. I like to do some of this dynamic movement in the midst of the static movement. Both are necessary, right? It's necessary for us to give and necessary for us to receive. So this, for some of you, if you ever did aerobics, which I did a lot of, this might be a flashback, but it's not intended to be a Jane Fonda moment, but you might have a flashback. So hands on your hips. What we're going to do is bend the knees, and then we're going to shift over and bring your foot behind you, okay? And then down and bring your foot behind you. Now, what we're going to add on that's going to seem a little bit like that is you're going to tap your foot behind you. Good cross patterning, good for the brain, new neural pathways. So we're going to bend, tap your foot, bend, tap your foot. Keep going. You might have to look back and find your foot. Trust me, it's there. Tap it, tap it. Now, at some point, we're going to stop and balance, and you're going to grab the foot if you can and hold it somewhere in the next 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Got it. And if you have to start over again, find it, and then stretch the arm up. Now I'm pushing my foot back into my hand and trying to tone my left buttock a little bit. You can stay straight here, or you might explore leaning a little bit, leaning ever so slightly to your right if you have a hold of your left foot. You might have the other one, in which case go the other direction. Good, come up and step it across, grab the other foot. Whoa, you might have to do 1 or 2 tries. And if you can't reach the foot, just keep the leg bent behind you. Okay, so you can just be here, bend it behind you. Tone your right buttock wherever you are. And then you can stretch straight up, or you might tilt. And you might fall over, and then you just get up, show up again, get back in the game. Kick the foot away from you if you're holding it. Awesome, and release. So that pattern's going to show up again later when we're on our backs, and you're going to know what to do because you just warmed up for it. Right, coming to the front of your mat, wherever the front may be. I'm just checking out my plan here to see where we're at. So you might want to place your blocks, if you have them, at the front of your mat here for this next little slow flow pattern. Hands to heart center. Show up for yourself here in this posture. Honor yourself, respect yourself, love yourself. On your next breath in, please stretch up, look up, and maybe even a baby back bend if that feels right for you. Hands come together past the wise chamber of the heart as you fold forward into Uttanasana, forward fold. Release your head. Shake it out. Breathe consciously. Now, please step your right leg back, way back into a deep lunge. You can use your blocks if that's handy if you want to. Please bring your torso upright, hands on your pelvis, and bend your back knee a fraction. Extend your arms up to what we did earlier, where you bend your elbows and reach across and grab your elbows. And then guide your ribs back into your body. It's like a little micro bow. Is that a word? I just made that up. It's a micro bow. Dip your back knee down a little bit more. And now start to lift your chest. Imagine going into cobra pose here. Lift up and arch back. You're trying to pull your elbows apart. There's a little bend in your back knee. Oh yeah. There's some balance action happening here. And now from here, slowly come up, straighten your back leg, release your arms, swing them back right beside your hips as you gaze downward. Shoulders roll up onto the back like wings attaching. Yeah, the wings of your heart, strong. And then from here, touch down to the floor or your blocks and make yourself a dog. Come into a dog pose, downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees. Many of us have been sitting a lot more, whether it's for work or for Netflix. Bend your knees and stick your bottom up. Stick your dog tail up so you have a lumbar curve. And now I know many of us have been rearranging furniture in our house too. You get tired of seeing the same old stuff. So imagine your arms are pushing a grand piano. Push the piano really strong. At the same time, lift your pelvis up. Push the piano, keep pushing it. It's heavy. Awesome, and lower your knees to the ground. Time to take a rest. You gave your all. And now just give back to yourself a little bit of rest time in your breath. And then making your way back, downward dog is calling your name. Let's lift back up. And bend the knees. This time bounce your knees. So downward bouncing dog. Just bounce, bounce, little baby bounces. And you can feel some shaking perhaps going on across the low back, just shaking out some tension, some stress. Your knees are on a little miniature trampoline here. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. Now, I believe it's time to step your right foot forward. So let's bring the right foot up between your hands. We're going to come upright, bring the hands on the hips, and please bend your back leg a little bit. Get your balance. Always, we know to hug the legs inward towards the midline, finding some stability. And then stretch the arms on up and cross over. So if these arms that I'm inviting you to do are not working, by all means, make up your own. It is your practice. So start to elevate the heart a little. Feel the elbows pressing up and trying to pull apart. Gently encourage the ribs to come back into the body. So you activate your core. And then bend the back knee a little deeper, as you may or may not want to open and bend, open more like a cobra, a little back bend here. There's a lot happening. You're doing fantastic. And then come out with control. Ooh, I about lost it there. And release the arms back at your sides. Show up for yourself here. Recognize your breath. And now reach down towards the mat. Please step forward, holding here in forward fold. Inhale, swing your arms up, reach up to stand up, and exhale, hands arrive right in front of your heart. Deep breath in right here. Slow breath out. Feel your feet pressing down firmly. You still have those high heels on in mud, pressing down. Now bend your knees, coming into a deep seated chair pose. We're going to add a twist. So please turn to your right. Park the left elbow somewhere on the right thigh. And then before you get all infatuated with the twist, look down for a moment. Press your top hand into your bottom hand and round your back a little bit more like cat pose. Bring your abdominals into the game, and then keeping that support of the back, turn and look up. You're gonna fullness through your back. Yeah. You might even extend your right arm up, another option. Anchoring the left elbow against your right thigh. And we'll come down, touch the floor, full Uttanasana. On your next inhale, please take your time, stretch up, reach up to stand up, hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Exhale, sit into chair pose. Twist to your left, parking the elbow. Pause and look down towards the floor. As you press the top hand firmly into the bottom, round your back slightly, like a little turtle shell there. Feel it fill up. And then keeping that, turn, twist to your left. You might need to draw your right hip back slightly. Hands can stay together or explore left arm moving up. Showing up, hearing your breath, and then exhale, touch down to the mat. Let's step the right leg back, please. Deep lunge. Spin the back heel down. We'll move into Virabhadrasana 2, mindfully, slowly. And let's take the arms out and go into a circular pattern, all right? So inhale the arms up, cross them over, exhale out. I'm going to hold this time. Inhale here. Exhale, maybe bend a little bit deeper in the front leg. And now reverse warrior. Inhale, rise through your spine. Exhale, leaning back slowly. Feel, here comes that nice crescent lateral stretch that we've been doing several times. Coming up and over, forearm to your thigh. Take your top arm up and bend your elbow. Draw your right shoulder blade onto your back more and pin it there, like a wing, a little wing of your heart. Pin it there. And then see about keeping the shoulder blade on your back. It's going to call upon some strong back muscles that you have as you very, very slowly extend your wing. Yeah. Awesome. And then circle down. Come down, touch the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Down dog, receive a full breath. And transition your right foot up between your hands now. Spin the back heel down. Coming up to warrior two legs. Virabhadrasana 2. With the circular motion, inhale up, exhale around and out. Holding this time. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, submerge a little deeper. Let your hips and your legs get like subterranean, deep in the earth. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reverse. And rise, come up, fold over forearm to your thigh. I like to press my forearm down as if I'm snagging the muscle and pull the skin forward. Encourage this leg to lengthen and descend. Bring the left arm up. Draw the shoulder blade on the back. Nestle your wing there. Get a good connection. And then keep your ribs back too. It's very beneficial. As you just explore, you may not take your arm all the way straight without losing the shoulder blade. So on this side, I have a shoulder that's needing extra love lately. So I'm going to really say, what would love do on this side? My ego would say, take the arm straight and you'll lose your shoulder blade. My love side says, no, don't go there. All right, from here, reach down, touch the mat, step on back to downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the ground. And then take your right leg, bring it out to the side, flatten the sole of the foot on the ground. Keep your left hand on the floor, and then open your right arm up in a twist here. Just open, looking on up. Feels really good, these expansive postures where we open and spread the wings of the heart, AKA our arms. Yeah, really, the brain recognizes that. Sends signals, a little happy endorphins start to go, ooh, party in the house, this is good. And then come on down to the ground. Bring the right leg in. Let's just do the second side. Bring your left leg out. Toes are facing straight out. Right arm remains down. And then just take your time. You can come up with your own fancy way of unfurling your wings. Expanding, let your head drift back. Breathe into it. And then make your way down with your hand. Bring the legs back in. Curl the toes under. Shift the hips way back. Really press firm with your arms. You still are moving that grand piano each time. Push, push, push away. And now this time, let's walk the hands on back to the feet. Arrive here, sink your ruby red slippers into the ground here that have little high heels on them, of course. Push down, so really use the legs. Hands come to the hips. Keep pressing down, pressing down, pressing down as you rise to standing. Okay, and here we are. Back in our standing position. I sure hope we're still connected and that I'm not just talking to myself. Oh, good. We're still here. Yay. All right. Excuse me. I just needed to get a sip there. Let's do one of my favorite balancing poses, dancing Shiva. Shiva, like consciousness of the universe, very solid, strong, and just have fun with this. So have fun with the whole thing, right? Otherwise, why do it? So we're going to stand on your left leg and just slightly turn the foot out. Just slightly turn your left foot out. Maybe I should show you this first. Most of you know it, but this leg will be bent. This leg comes across with a flex foot, and then the right arm will go up, the left arm back. You'll join your index finger and thumb, and then you can stay upright or you can lean back if you want. So I'll talk you through that. Left foot turned out, little bend. Sweep the right leg across. It can stay low or it can come high. Flex the foot. Left arm across your chest. Join your index finger and thumb. Right arm over the head. Yeah. Engage your abdomen, and then your choice, yogi's choice, can stay here, play with it. It's a lot happening. Or you could start to lean back like you just took a hit of the cosmic love bomb. And you're like, whoa, this love stuff is good. What would love do? Oh, lean back, lean back, lean back. And then come out gracefully, of course. Let's do the second side. Right foot slightly turns out, put a little cushion, sweep the left leg across, find your balance. And then you're going to take the left arm up, right arm across the chest, dancing Shiva. The mudra of wisdom, Jnana Mudra, and then you can begin to lean or stay upright. You check in, you say, what does this side need that perhaps the other side didn't need? How do I love myself on this side? Whoa, row. That's why we call it dancing Shiva, right? It moves. It's not completely stationary. So good, you guys. And then release. Fantastic. Let's take a wide stance on your mat. Interlace the hands behind your back if that is doable, if your shoulders allow. Roll the shoulders back. Now, if the hands are not comfortable like this, just put them on your waist. Put the hands on your hips here. Okay. There's always ways to modify. So from here, come forward slow. Your feet are pressing down so strong. Elongate your spine, release it. Telescope your neck. Like a little turtle's head has decided to come out of the shell. And extend your head. Move your head side to side. Maybe even tilt your arms to one side and then the other. Releasing the fingertips to the floor. Pausing here for a few more breaths. This forward bend, very beautiful opportunity for introspection. Maybe you have something in your world right now that there's a decision that needs to be made and you've been thinking about it, all the pros and cons. Maybe the question to ask is, what would love do? Excuse me. And let's give some love to our hips, the ball and socket joint. Just go really slow now. Press weight into your fingertips. Bring your heels in as far as you can and stop. So you're in a big external rotation. And then weight your heels, lift your toes and balls of the feet and pivot in. Big internal rotation as deep as you can go. And then go the opposite. Bring in heels. We're doing the super ESPN slow motion. And then bring the balls of your feet in, and you'll end up in Tadasana, feet straight. Hands come onto the hips. Anchor the feet down, and up we go in Tadasana. Bringing the hands together in front of the heart. Soften your knees. Soften your eyelids over your eyes. Feel the love that you've extended to yourself through your actions today. First action was showing up. When I have days that I find myself beating myself up, not being so kind, the words of Swami Muktananda a wise sage yogi, always come to mind for me. He says, honor yourself, respect yourself, love yourself, because God lives in you, as you, and through you. And then release your hands, open your eyes. Let's come down to the floor. I mentioned earlier that we were going to do this stretch on the ground, and here we are at that point. When we're down there in that position, the top arm will be moving slowly like this, and then we'll hold. And the two things that are important, this is a really good psoas release or hip flexor release. The two things that are important on the crossed under leg is that the outside of the knee keeps pressing down, it's unrelenting, and that buttock on that side is engaged, okay? Those two actions, and I'll remind you, but I just wanted to point that out. So we'll come down and into a seated position, just where we started. Cross your left leg under you. And now when we recline on our back, I want you to have a belt nearby or perhaps a shirt or something. If you can get a hold of your ankle, it would be best. And if the ankle's not available, then maybe use a belt or something. And once we recline, we'll be using the left arm up and over. And I'll give you more deets when we get there. So come on down to the ground and just feel the floor. Oh, yes. Let your right leg stay bent, knee pointing to the ceiling. And now we all have our left leg crossed under, and if possible, reach to your ankle. If not, just grab where you can. Before we move the left arm, let's just put it at the cactus shape. So it's a half cactus here. Your left arm is on the floor, elbow bent off to your side. Press the outside of your left knee down so much that you do start to feel your left buttock or gluteal wake up. It's active. See if you can keep that the entire time. And now with the left arm, let's begin to inhale, stretch up and over. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, up and over. Press the knee down, tone the left glute, keep that. And arm comes back down. One more time. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, arm down. Now we're going to hold it this time for a longer stretch. Take the left arm up and over in a crescent shape here, and then just press the left knee down, firm the left gluteal. Really stretch a little bit higher with your arm. And release. Let's switch sides. We're going to take the right leg now and cross it under. And just take a moment to see, how does this side feel? How does it work? If I press the outside of my right knee down, tone the right gluteal, how does that feel? And then we'll bring the right arm into prep position here to the side. So 3 times rhythmically. Inhale the right arm up and over as you press the leg and buttocks into an active shape, and then release down with the arm. Inhale over again. Exhale back. Inhale, arm over. Exhale down, keeping the lower extremity very active. And one time, last time, holding here, pressing the outside of the right knee down, toning the right buttock, stretching the right arm up, 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 and over. And soften and release. Come back. Really good. Uncross your leg. Let's fold both knees into your chest. Show up completely for yourself here. Check in. How am I feeling? What am I feeling?
slide the hands up onto the caps of your knees, like you're holding on to little handles, and press your knees forward until you feel an arch in your low back. You feel space between your back and the floor. And then push down with your hands like you're anchoring your thigh bones deep into the hip sockets, and begin to rock a little bit side to side. Your body, in its wisdom, knows that you showed up for it today, not just your physical body, but your mind and heart, the whole package. And it might be even whispering or perhaps singing to you, thank you so much. And then place your feet on the ground. Let your those are called your legs. Let your legs open out and the soles of your feet come together. Once again, check in on your low back region. Can you invite a space there, a nice lumbar curve underneath the low back? I'm pausing here in a non-doing mode, just being, just feeling your natural breath. And as we move now towards the last few minutes of complete rest, you might ask, what would love do? Love might say, you need to stay and rest, my dear. Other things can wait. Or love might say, no, you need to go. So listen to that inner guidance. If you're choosing to stay for the last few minutes, I hope so. Extend your legs long and let your arms rest in a place of comfort, perhaps on your abdomen, perhaps at your sides. Sometimes I enjoy resting a hand on my heart and a hand on my power center through the navel region. Continuing these last few minutes of deep union with yourself. Maybe even checking in. What is it that I need? I really, really need today. What is my heart's desire? As you rest for a few minutes, know that I'm here holding space for you. Give your body permission to welcome stillness. It might feel foreign, it might feel uncomfortable. Just like a plant needs water, we need stillness. Check in with yourself as you rest here. How have I been when it comes to this question of taking care of myself,
refueling so that I can then care for everyone else that depends upon me. What am I doing to replenish and feed my soul? Feel your shoulders and your arms. In whatever position they're in, just feel the shape of them, the warmth, maybe even feeling a pulse in your hands, right in the center of your hand. There's a heart meridian, heart spot. Listen to your body now as we begin to make a transition. Make it slow and just ask, what part of me wants to move first? Maybe the hands, maybe you want to stretch the arms. Listen to that inner prompting. Eventually, bring your legs in towards your chest and just wrap your arms around, give them a squeeze towards your heart. Give yourself a hug. And then rolling slowly to your right side in the fetal position. And pressing yourself up to a seat. When you arrive in your seat, let the eyes close and lean in. Listen. Join the hands together as we close in front of your heart center. Remember, as we started off today, what would love do is a beautiful mantra to take with you through your life. Asking that question anytime is helpful, but especially in those difficult times. But then remembering that sometimes love would choose you. You need to take care of you and then extend it out. Bow now, honoring yourself for showing up. Love shows up time and time again. And remembering those very powerful words of Swami Muktananda. Honor yourself, respect yourself, love yourself, for God lives in you, as you, and through you. You might be the face of love for the people in your life. I bow to each of you. So much gratitude. Thank you for being here today. Namaste. I sure wish I could see you all. I sure wish I could hug you all. Thank you for being here and have a happy rest of your Valentine's Day and stay warm, stay healthy. If you missed the beginning of class and would like me to send you the replay, I would be happy to do that. Just shoot me an email. I know sometimes technology is our friend and sometimes it can be challenging. So thank you so much. I'll check the chat box here. Let me know how you feel, how the class was for you. I think that, yeah. Oh, Laura, you were here. Hello. Nadina liked the dancing Shiva. Yes, that's a fun one. Oh, Megan and Rhonda. Hello, guys. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Julie. I'm glad you enjoyed. Happy Valentine's Day, Carla. Oh, send me an email because I'll forget. I won't be able to see these comments. They'll disappear after class. But if you don't mind sending me an email, happy to do that. Yeah. Mama Rhonda needs some. Oh, I have, Megan, I have those classes on my YouTube channel. Totally. Some really sweet ones, like a 20-minute, great way to start. Check out Marcia Nealon YouTube. There are some beginner classes, intermediate, and I keep up